Hey guys, this video is about my favorite Love is Blind couple. I mean, favorite by far. And I think it's because I like this girl the absolute best. Absolutely. And I think that the guy that she picked might not, I don't know if he would have been my favorite or not. I think he's a really nice guy and I really like him, but I think I like his relationship with her. So I don't know if he would have wanted with another girl, if he'd be my favorite. But she's my favorite contestant on the show, and it is Lauren and Cameron. I think is his name. First of all, let me just give Cameron props. He has one of the most soothing, calm, and even-toned voices. But Lauren is probably the cutest. She is a smart girl. I really like her. I feel like she's very together and very aware, and she is thinking all of this out, right? So I would say my second favorite girl, if not Lauren, is Diamond, which people might think is interesting since I am a proud member of the LGBTQ community and there's a little bit of controversy there. So if you want to see my opinions about that, do check the description box wherever it is located, down, over, up, I don't know. But it will have a link to my video about Diamond Jack and Carlton Morton's whole thing. Okay? Anyway, back to my favorite couple, Cameron and Lauren. So Cameron is a very calm guy. He happens to be Caucasian or white, or he presents white. I don't actually know what his nationality is. I believe he's white. And Lauren is a beautiful black woman, and she is really taking this experiment and really going with it. She's never dated a white man before, and she winds up falling in love with Cameron, and he proposes in one of the sweetest ways. He says her full name, and he's just so sincere, and it's absolutely beautiful. And I kind of felt like at that point the show should they should be able to see each other, like the blue light that they're talking to should woo, and open or something weird. I don't know, at least become visible so they can see each other. But no, they do that on another day or at another time. I don't know if it's the next day or if it's just later in the day because of editing, but they do a whole different situation where these two kind of shadow things open and they're able to see each other and they run to each other, right? And he gets down on one knee, I think. I can't remember. I believe he does get down on his one knee and ask her again to marry him. Some of them do. Some of them say it in person. Some of them just put the ring on it. Just, anyway. And then they leave each other again that night. And they meet up later to go to Mexico together. Fun stuff. Some of the concerns I had watching this couple get together was one, she is very clear about the fact that she's never dated a white man. Can you hear that? There's a cat playing with a little bell toy. Anyway. And you don't know. I don't believe if he talks about whether or not he's dated outside of his race. I don't really know. We find out later that he has. Because one of my biggest concerns was that, not to be at all judgmental, but I'm going to speak in broad strokes here, was that as a heterosexual white male in America, he might not be aware of the challenges that would come with, first of all, that are faced by, people of color in our country. Now, I live in the South, and so clearly racism, I believe it's alive and well all over, but it's strong here. So there are things that I was worried. I was worried that it's weird down here because you will meet people who are racist, and then you'll meet people who are racist and don't know it. And they really truly are what? No, trying to get them to understand privilege or, anything like that is such a massive struggle that I was worried. I was worried. I thought Cameron seemed very nice, and he seemed very intelligent, and he seemed extremely aware, but you don't ever know if that's going to equate understanding that there is a reality to dating a black woman that he would need to be versed in, and he's going to have to learn and grow, right? Now you find out he's from Maine, and so that gives me a little bit of hope. I don't know about Maine necessarily, but I know up north things are a little bit better than here sometimes, and so let's go with that. During their getting to know each other later, they're both, first of all, they get to see each other, and they're both absolutely besotted. They are still very happy. She's small and he's tall, and they fit together perfectly, and they're so adorable, and I love them. I ship this couple so hard, it's ridiculous, right? But you find out in one of their conversations that he actually has dated a woman of color before, and that he has seen her struggle being harassed on the street for her choice of companion. So he's not blind to it, he's not ignorant of it, and he's aware that it's going to be something that's going to come up for them. And I was so relieved to hear that and to know that, because I feel like that's going to be the biggest thing, is that in a relationship where you have a white and a black person, it is impossible for a white person to truly know or understand what it is to be black in America. So the best thing he can do is at least be aware that he can't possibly know and understand that. And so that's going to give them the best footing. He is always going to be learning from her. And I don't mean that in a way that it's her responsibility to teach him, because it's not. It is no person of color's responsibility to teach a white person how to not be a racist asshole. That, or, you know what I mean? But as his partner, she is going to be in more of a teaching situation. And even in the times when she's not teaching, just when she is struggling or being like, just being black in America, he's going to need to just shut up, back up, and be supportive. And that is something that if he didn't understand, that could have damaged everything from like the very beginning. So far it looks like he does have at least some realization that that's going to play a role in their relationship. So that made me happy. Another thing that made me happy was when they were having a conversation about kids, and he said that both of them made 2 points that I was like, see, these people, they're smart. He said, I know that our children will be viewed as black in the world, and that we're going to have to love them, and we're going to have to raise them. You know, and basically he's acknowledging that his whiteness is not going to transfer to his children. They will not just have privileges because dad is white. Like he is, so that means he really is aware. And she says, and this is her thing, can you believe we're talking about kids? Like, it feels right, but it's kind of weird and a little bit ridiculous that we're talking about kids after only knowing each other for X amount of time. And so I celebrate that both of them are situationally aware and at least talking about the idea that this is a crazy situation, that we have so much to work out. He's aware of the complications and the nuances of dating outside of his race. She has never done it, but she's still very aware of what's about to happen, talking to her parents, talking to her people. She does also mention that she's an advocate for Black Americans and for Black people, and that she's very outspoken, and that she is maybe on some level a little bit confused or conflicted with how she's going to have a white husband, and yet you know, like she's so outspoken about Black love and Black acceptance and just the empowerment of Black people. I do want to take a small step to the side and say that in some of the circles that I have been privileged and honored enough to be in, where I have played very small parts in like watching the empowerment of Black people by Black people, and like being a witness to some conversations and just the learning and the research that I've done, there is somebody who I respect so much, and she is a Black woman who is a powerful and amazing voice. She is definitely part of a movement in America, and I'm honored to have even read the things that she posts on Facebook and stuff. And she is married to a white man, and I have seen the things people have said to her and about her as if the work that she does is discounted somehow by the fact that her partner is white. So on this topic I understand where Lauren is coming from, and she has a very valid concern. And she is reassuring herself by saying, but I fell in love with the person. And that's true. She fell in love with the person. She didn't know if he was black or white. He's got a real smooth, deep, nice voice. He very well could have been a black man. He didn't, that might sound weird, but I'm just saying. But yeah, so she did fall in love with who he is. The reality is that if you don't watch the show, you don't know that. So she will be on top of all of the things that a black woman has to deal with in America. She is going to have to also deal with that bullshit. And that really sucks. And it makes me sad for her. And it makes me sad for them. And truly and honestly, I love this relationship, and I wish that we lived in a time where they could just love each other. And I think that Cameron almost, like, so he's got a lot of points for understanding a lot about it and for being, like, you know, aware of himself. But he does at one point, when she's kind of expressing, like, my dad grew up in a different time and things are different, he says, oh, but this generation is different, and, you know, we're just better off. And kind of he like, oh, we're better. And I believe that's true, but I also believe it's not 100% true. I live in Louisiana, where not that long ago, I believe within the last 10 to 15 years, I believe it was less than 10 years ago, very, very close to here, there was a parish. We don't have counties, we have parishes where a interracial couple was not allowed to be married, where, like, the justice of the peace wouldn't marry them, and he made this big deal out of it. Cat is playing with a bell. He made a big deal out of it, and he really put his foot down and would not let them get married, and it became a big thing. So here in Louis, and also, like, some of the parishes have extreme deseg orders for their schools because of the way that the parish lines are drawn and the segregation in the school. It still happens. We are still living the civil rights movement. We still have to be fighting and vigilant and on top of it. It's not done. I mean, the people who came before us, they did an amazing job, and they really suffered and laid down the groundwork. But if you're not aware that things are still needing, desperate for change, then you are not paying attention. So I just wanted to put that out there because we were talking about it. Anyway, so we leave this couple. They are the first to get engaged, and they're happy at the resort. They meet up with everybody else, and they seem like the most well-adjusted, really good couple, but perhaps with the most to overcome in the real world. Like, that's just the reality. I am, you guys, I can't even tell you. I'm shipping this so hard. If I was not a broke ass mofo, I would send them a wedding gift. I love them. So I hope you liked this video. I hope you agree with me. If you want to have a conversation, I am open to conversation. Let's talk about it. I want to know what you have to say. I want to know who your favorite couple is. I plan on doing the entire show, but I haven't done it yet. When I do, I'll update the description and stick it down below. If you hung around and you enjoy this video, please like, please subscribe. I'm on a weight loss journey, and that's what I'm mainly making videos about, but looks like a little bit of reality TV recap and conversations happening as well.